Why is Epic the musical so good? Greetings, fellow canines. I'm Jana Dog, and today we'll be talking about Epic the musical. You probably have heard this music before, or at least seen a few animations with it. Why is it such a banger? But more importantly, why is it so popular? TikTok. That's the simple answer. Now, I don't use TikTok, but the views on YouTube speak for themselves. For the not so easy answer, well, the musical is based off an old book called The Odyssey, based off of Greek gods and this guy who misses his wife. Really, really bad. Now, the reason this is a good thing cause it is a mostly easy story to grasp, and most people have already read the story or at least know the concept. For example, I read the Odyssey for school before I discovered Epic. Once I actually found out and listened to it, I really enjoyed it. And now we have my sister. She didn't read the book, but she enjoyed the musical. Now, once both of us figured out that we have both listened to it, we can both enjoy it without worrying about knowing it, I guess. Now, of course, having read the story, I have some more insider info about what the musical is actually about. Well, she doesn't, but she can still grasp the concept just as well as I can. Of course, despite this being a copy of the book, there are some changes. For example, in the original story, Odysseus and his men come across an island where the sun god's cows live. His men decide to eat the cows while Odysseus is sleeping. This causes Zeus, the god of thunder, or I think at least, comes down and kills all his men for eating the cows. And Odysseus lives just because he didn't eat the cows. But in the musical, spoilers by the way, Zeus gives Odysseus the choice, him or his men. One of them will have to face the punishment of eating the cows. Changes like this make the musical more intriguing and interesting. There's also things for people to listen to as well, like little hints and stuff. For example, the note Penelope is repeated multiple times throughout songs. Example, Horse in the Infant contains this as well as suffering. Having Odysseus' wife's name be repeated multiple times really shows how much he misses her. I believe that's a really good note for the viewer to have in mind. It shows how desperate Odysseus really is to see his wife again. Now, there are multiple sagas in this showing the different parts of Odysseus' journey back home, but what I really like is the Thunder Saga. It has really good songs, and I believe they connect really well coming right after the other. Now, my personal favorite song is Cilia, or however you'd like to pronounce it, but I believe Mutiny and Thunderbringer have an important impact. First, we have Mutiny, which is sort of a parallel to Horse and the Infant. Both of them have parts where Odysseus is begging people not to do something. Horse and the Infant, Odysseus is begging Zeus not to make him kill the child. And in Mutiny, Odysseus is begging his men not to eat the sun god's cows. Now, besides Hamilton, I think this is a really good thing, because I think it makes the viewer pay attention to songs, or listener I mean, pay attention to songs to listen to parallels like this. In Hamilton, or at least what I've heard the songs, I haven't really watched the musical, just listened to the songs. In the song Non-Stop, near the end, you can hear the people saying, wait for it, Hamilton says something about his shot, and history has its eyes on you. And in Epic, the name Penelope parallels a lot, so does him and his men. Now, of course, Odysseus does care about his men, but not more than his wife, even though there's like more of his men than his wife. Now, of course, he wouldn't have more wives than men, but I would probably wouldn't let my men die, because they all have families too. It's not just Odysseus. But it really shows how far he has stretched to the point where he doesn't care if his men die just to see his wife again. Also, in the next song after Mutiny, Thunderbringer, as I mentioned before, Zeus gives Odysseus a choice of whether he punishes Odysseus or his men. Now, after what Odie has gone through, he can't handle never seeing his wife again. So of course, he chooses himself. And what really sticks out to me is one of his men says, "But we'll die." And Odysseus responds, "I know." And that just really hits. Now, that's all I really wanted to talk about in this video. Thanks for watching, and if there are pauses here and there, please don't mind it too much, because this is my first time really doing something like this, and I know I have a script right beside me, but it's still kind of hard because I'm not reading the script word for word. I'm still expanding on it. But I really hope you enjoy. You can subscribe and like the video if you want to, but I'm not going to force you, like how most YouTubers do. Well, they can't force you, but they really, really want you to. You know what I mean, hopefully. But watching my videos is just enough for me to be really happy. I appreciate all my people who have already subscribed, and if you want to see more from me, you can go to my toy house or my Tumblr by the same name, Janadog. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't listened to Epic the Musical, I'd really recommend it. It has some good music, and it is a passion project by many. If I get this video out today, at the time I'm recording it, it would be Mother's Day. So, also, happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. And bye.